Today you'll probably see some hummingbirds, you may see some cardinals, you may hear some wrens. You're going to see something. Welcome to Adulting with Assets, where we learn how to shift from allowance to assets, from short-term spending habits to long-term financial stability. I'm Lisa Marie. Today we're talking about creating balance with your finances, even if you mess up. And I really hope you did the work from last week, because today we're going to build on it. This episode is a little bit longer because I'm going to be giving you exact step-by-step direction on how exactly to create balance with your finances. What does balance mean to you? For most people, it sounds like this: easy, stress-free, no worries, living your life in a way that matches who you are. But for most people, money doesn't feel like that at all. It feels confusing, inconsistent, and honestly, a little out of control. Today, I'm going to show you how to fix that. Last week, we talked about budgeting and how changing the meaning changes your mindset. Not just numbers, but who you are when you spend, and what matters to you, what doesn't, and where your money is actually going. Because you can't build a system until you understand your behavior. And today, we take that work and turn it into something automatic, simple, and consistent. Even if you mess up sometimes, watch. Many years ago, Dave Ramsey taught the envelope system, and it worked. But let's be honest, that was a lot easier when we actually use cash. What I've seen when mentoring people about money is the idea still works, but the execution is a little outdated. So instead, I built something a little different. I call them spending buckets. And yes, this might sound a little crazy, but I use 5 bank accounts. 5. And I know what people are going to say. That's too much. That's complicated. But I am telling you, if you want your money to feel calm, clear, and under control, this works. Here's where most people go wrong. They think in monthly numbers. But money doesn't behave monthly. Some bills are weekly. Some bills are quarterly. Some bills show up once a year. And that's where people lose control. Especially if you don't get paid the way the bills show up. Some of you may get paid every week, every other week, the 1st and the 15th. And if you get paid on a weekly basis, that extra paycheck, which happens 4 times a year, by the way, that's where people blow their budget because it feels like extra money. But it's not extra money. There's only money that arrives at different times and gets spent at different times. So we fix that by thinking one way. Everything comes yearly first, and then we divide it down. This creates consistency. So let's get into that part where this all comes together. This is very important. Until you build new habits, lock your credit cards up. Don't worry about cash back. Don't worry about miles. Right now, your focus is building new habits. So 5 accounts. Where do we start? Bank account number 1, your stability fund, also known as your emergency fund. This is your foundation. This account does not get touched, is not optional, it's not flexible, it does not have a debit card, and if you use it, you rebuild it immediately because stability must stay stable. Bank account number 2. This is your must account for non-negotiables. These are expenses like housing, your car payment, insurance, utilities, your phone. And here's the key. This account has no debit card. None. This is not spending money. This is life support. This is how your system becomes powerful. Watch this. On the whiteboard, we're going to show you this. Let's say your must expenses are $3,000 a month. Rent is $2,080. Electricity averages 128, and you do want to use the average bill. Water, 78. Car insurance, 252. Cell phone, 77. Car payment, 553. And we take this and we multiply it based on when we spend it. So if your car insurance is paid quarterly, then you multiply it by 4. But the goal is to create the yearly expense, which in this case, the yearly expenses are $36,000 a year. Now we're going to divide that based on when you get paid. If you get paid weekly, you divide by 52. If you get paid bi-weekly, you divide by 26. And if you get paid on the 1st and the 15th, you divide by 24. And the reason for this is how many paychecks you get in a year. So we're trying to make it consistent for you to see how much comes out of every check. This is how much money goes into this account each paycheck. Same lifestyle, same cost, just distributed correctly. And now you immediately know what's left. Bank account number 3. This is your needs account. Variable essentials. This includes groceries, gas, doctor's visits, pets, glasses. These are real needs, but they fluctuate. This account does have a debit card, but it should only be used for these expenses. But here's a tip. If you take cash to the grocery store, I promise you'll stay in budget. If you take a card, you don't worry about the bill or the amount. And remember the mindset shift. You calculate everything yearly first. So here we are at our whiteboard, which I love a whiteboard. Groceries are $300, but I only go to the grocery store every other week. So that's times 26. The vet bill is $100. I go 4 times a year. Glasses are only once a year. The total expenses are $8,500 a year. Now divide based on when you get paid, just like before, telling you how much goes into this account each pay period. If it's weekly, 164 goes in each week. And if it's the 1st and the 15th, $355 goes in 2 times a month. Nothing sneaks up on you anymore. Bank account number 4. This is your wants account, lifestyle and giving. This is where life gets real, and it's also where most people fail on their budgets because no one plans for these expenses. One small change that makes a big difference. Don't attach a debit card to this account because when it's not easy to access, your spending becomes more intentional and not automatic. So, hair, 4 times a year, $150. Nails, every month, times 12. Streaming, I have 4 accounts each week or each month. Birthdays, $50. Let's say there's 12 birthdays a year in my life. Holidays, entertaining, $150, 5 times a year. Christmas, $2,500 a year. Date night, every other week, $70. $1,680 for dates for the year, for a total spend of $7,702. But remember, how do you get paid? Weekly, bi-weekly, or the 1st and the 15th? Divide it by that. So $7,702 divided by 26, because I get paid every other week, goes into this account. These aren't surprises. They happen every single year. But this is the number 1 account that will ruin your budget every time. We just don't think about them all at once. And when you start looking at your money this way, you can finally ask a real question. Is this realistic for my life? Because now you're in control. Maybe I don't need 4 streaming services. Maybe I could get by with 2. Maybe birthdays don't need to be $50 every single time. Maybe Christmas looks different. In our family, for the adults, we made a rule, a LM rule, that we bake, make, or write something. And that level of giving, in my opinion, has a much higher level of quality attached to it. But not because you can't afford it, but because you're choosing your life on purpose. At this point, you're going to be able to see how much money you have, where is it going, and how much do you have left over. But remember, this account grows throughout the year. And it's very easy to look at it and say, we have extra money. But it's not extra. It already has a job. And when Christmas comes, you don't need to stress. You don't reach for a credit card. Instead, you enjoy it. Now we have cash in the wallet. No bank account, cash account. It's called your blow money. This is one of the most important pieces. This is eating out, coffee, fast food, small impulse spending. When the cash is gone, spending is over. No guilt, no confusion, no overthinking. And if you're married, this account will keep you married for a very long time because you don't have to answer to anybody. You have your own blow money, and each person gets their own account, and no questions are asked. It's their money. Do with it what they want. Bank account number 5. This is a fun account. I also call it Future Life, but for me, this is simple. It's one thing: travel. For you, it may be a car. It may be a gun. I mean, I am from Texas after all. It may be a hunting trip. It may be a down payment for a house. Because this is intentional. This is very intentional. How many times do I hear I can't afford a vacation? I'll just put it on the card. I don't think so. Watch this. $5 a day for a coffee. That's it. $5 a day only on weekdays. That's $25 a week times 52 weeks. You just spent $1,300 a year. That's a vacation, not someday. That's a choice made by you telling your money where to go. This system does something most people never experience. It gives you clarity. It gives you control. And most importantly, it gives you peace. Even when life isn't perfect. Even when you mess up. Because your system keeps you grounded. And let me say this clearly. When these accounts build up, this is not a surplus. That money is already assigned. It's simply waiting for the expenses that don't happen every week. Balance isn't about restriction. It's about knowing where your money is going so your life can go where you want it to go. And an important note, if your money is gone after account number 2, that's a sign you're stretching beyond your means. If it's after account number 4, you may just need to shift and redirect a few things. But here's the good part. When you actually see it laid out like this, you finally get clarity. And clarity is where change begins. And that's adulting with assets. Take what fits, leave the rest. And if this saved you one hard conversation, then it was worth it. I'll see you next week. And don't forget, your future is watching.